Hello everyone, can you hear me now? Please type in chat if you can hear me. Okay, they can hear me. Gyan, can you test once?
Hello everyone, how are you all? Can you guys hear us?
Great.
Yeah,
So just let's wait for 2 minutes and let everyone join and then we can get started.
yes.
Gyan, we can get started.
So, hello everyone. Morning, afternoon, and evening, respect to the regions where you are in the world. So, we are presenting today. We are continuing with our free live sessions on Salesforce training for beginners. And our today's topic we'll be covering a security part. That is first security part in the Salesforce. So, Smriti,
Hi, Smriti this side. You already know me by now.
yeah. And this is me, Ganeshwar, and me and Smriti. We have been giving sessions, so you guys know for now for us. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and to get notifications and like our video and comment if you guys have any feedback on our sessions. Thank you. So these are the few related modules on Salesforce, like we have provided in the link. So the basics, today we'll be covering the basics, security, identity, and data security as well. So these are the few topics which we have covered and we'll be covering in future sessions. So today we'll be covering the security part one. And the topics for today are security basics, identity basics, control access to the org, control access to the objects. So without wasting much time, let me go ahead with the security basics. So security basics, so it is very important because it is very crucial for every organization, like to prevent, to detect, analyze, and to respond to the threats, the security threats in the application. So basic methods I'll be explaining, I'll be going over, and then how we can educate our Salesforce users to protect our org. So these are the few things we'll be going over in next few minutes. So understanding the security risk. It might take only one employee in like whole big organization to set off like chain of events like an attacker can take. And then we need to check if all the permissions being correctly given to all the users. Like basically why we need security. So it depends on the scenario and like a requirement, because different team will be functioning differently the way they want. And like if sometimes the scenarios might be like we would like to hide some information from some department. So there are a few things. So and in Salesforce there are a lot of controls and mechanisms to secure data in Salesforce. We can check if all the permissions are correct for different users like visibility, editability, or we can check if this users is allowed to be here, or what they can edit, what record they can have access to. So these are all the things. And one important thing, as we all know, Salesforce is very popular in today's world. So that is like more cybersecurity attacks can like they can target Salesforce. So these are few methods of security attack. So phishing and malware. So for this, the cyber attackers they use email as their weapon. So like, these are some example of phishing and malware. So in the left, you can see, so they are in the COVID-19, like the Treasury, US Treasury, they provided some funds to all people. So so here, like you can see, they are in this email. They are requesting our details like full name, address, city. So basically, US Treasury Department they did not request any details to any person who they have provided the funds. And to the right, you can see the subject. It says email account upgrade. And if you see in the body, you have something which says if you have not recently and believe someone may be trying to access your account. So it doesn't match. The subject it says account upgrade, and in the body it says if you are trying to someone is trying to access your account. So these are the few things, and it doesn't mention your name. Like it says just dear user, like a generic. So these are the few things, and you can see the URL, the shortened URL, HTTP, and so we don't know what exactly that. So better to make sure that whenever we do click on any link in the emails, make sure you think before clicking any links. And like so these are some of the surfing methods. Like you can see, like these are shoulder surfing example, and an hacker can see what you're typing. Like so, you need to make sure whenever you are dealing, working on such with such data, make sure we are not being looking by someone when you are using this. You're working with that information. And here, like this is eavesdropping. This is in between the networks. So whenever there is a connection, the attacker like passively listens to a network communication to gain access so to the private information, like anything. It might be a routing number, it might be like node number, anything. Dumpster driving example. This is like many people they might go and attackers they can collect information from a trash or like recycle. Like example is like CDs, hard drives, USB. It can be anything. So these are few things. Next, so we'll be going ahead and we'll be seeing how we would be educating our users and ourselves to help protect our org, Salesforce. So first and most important in this, it will be we need to talk our users like there might be a first point of entry for any attack. It might be so once we let users know about it and teach more about security, it will help like secure our implementation. And second one, pay attention to passwords. So for this one, I would like to draw some points like we need to often change passwords like in 3 months. That is recommended from Salesforce. And educate and create courses on monthly basis on security. One of the example I recommend is like if we send our users trial email, which is like kind of phishing, and we can see if they are clicking on that or if they are going through that email, or and if they are reporting to our company security team in our company. So we can do such type of like courses or to those users, and then if there are any security emails you get from the phishing emails, you feel that you are getting, and what which if it says Salesforce or something, you can just email that to security@salesforce.com, or you can just send that to your security team in your organization. So here, this will be the I'll be showing you guys how we can control the password policies in our Salesforce. So let me log in to my org. So here we can set some policies like the length of the password, if it is required unique characters. I'll show you guys. So in the setup, if you can type password policies, here you can see like user passwords expire. So here we have options 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If we select 30 days, once the 30 days are done, so the current password for the users that will get expired, and they need to create a new password after 30 days. And this is like three passwords, remember. This is like a history. It will have the history so that you won't be able to create the same password again. And minimum password length. This is, we can set the length of the password. We can go up to 50 characters here, 5 to 50. It should be minimum 5 characters. And we can change the complexity of the requirement. Like if it needs to be include like alphanumeric and special characters like at the rate, hash symbol, similarly. And the logout effective period 15 minutes. So let's say now I have signed in my org, and if I don't use anything, if I just keep as it is like for 15 minutes, it will get locked out the account. You need to sign it again. So these are few things which you can work on, like to make the security better or to manage security better. And like make passwords harder like to crack. Don't keep easy passwords, like and never share your password with anyone. These are few recommended things. Next, here choose the right Salesforce security settings. So here in this, let the users in. So which users we want to look what which application or which tables, and we can allow users to do, we can make users required to do two kinds of authentication. One is signing in to the org, and the second, we can use any device like mobile to confirm that it's the same user. And then limit was what users can do. This can be done with the objects, limitations on object and fields as well as an app. And we can, the great feature we have is we can even encrypt the data in Salesforce. So it's complete a new layer of security. Like if we have like very critical information, like if we have SSN numbers, we can just encrypt that data, and we can even monitor like few events. Like we can track user activity in monitoring events, what users are doing, or the feature adoption and the troubleshoot issues. So these are the few things. And the next one is health check. This feature in Salesforce is used to scan like security configurations. So let me show you guys how we can use this feature. Again, in the setup, go to health, check. This is like checking the health of our org. So that's really cool. So here you can see for this, my org is 70% good, it says, and you can see like they have different sections like high risk security settings, medium risk, and we have low risk security settings as well. So here, and you can see to the top right here, we have one button which says fix risk. So once I click on that, we can select which feature we would like to fix. Like the first one setting, it says enable clickjack protection for visual force pages and standard headers. If I click the one and then change settings, you are about to change, it will give you a notification. So says you are about to change the security settings for your entire org. And then once we change them, you need to do it outside. Again, we need to go outside and do it for this setting. Go outside the health check, go to session settings and do this change. Okay. So similar to this, we can fix all the security which we get like security risk alerts, which we get through health check feature in Salesforce. So next I'll be going to, and one more good thing here is we can even use the query. There are like one is through UI which we have checked using to use the health check feature, and the second one is you can see the query in the slide. So we can use even the query. It is an object security health check. So through that query we can see what are the risk features we need to fix it. Next, identity basics. So get to know Salesforce identity. So why exactly users need identity is like to, to see what access they have in the org in Salesforce. Like if they have right access to the right resource at the right time. Like let's say if I need to have account access, the account object access. Do I have that access? Do I have that identity to have the access to the account object? So such things we have in the identity. So we need to know like users, who are our users, like identity users. And let me show you guys this. So what the user can do, what accessibility or features that user profile has, and who need access to your org or like community members. Which so here some features of Salesforce identity. So this is really important because these features help us or any user in Salesforce to keep their org secure or implement more security in their org. So single sign-on, connected apps, social sign-on example. I'll show you guys this in the with some examples as well. App launcher, my domain. Now single sign-on. Here you can see a single sign-on feature. It lets users access all the authorized resources. See here you can see Google. You can authorize Workday, Concur, and other Salesforce org. So this is without logging into this. So you log only into one application, which is a Salesforce. Log in once to access many connected apps. So you can see these are different connected apps, and we can add more like Facebook, Amazon. We can add more connected apps to our org. So here you'll sign in only once and you will be able to access multiple applications. That is an advantage of using single sign-on feature. So the next social sign-on. So here it's like a single sign-on, but it's like similar, but also because they both are having same feature, single sign-on and social sign-on. In here, we log into Salesforce org with the username and password from an external authentication provider like Facebook. So directly go to Facebook, you enter your credentials there, Facebook credentials, and you log into your Salesforce org. This is either you can use Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other social apps. So in that scenario, the Salesforce social sign-on feature you can use. Next, two-factor authentication. So this is it's like you are not getting authenticated once, but twice, just for be secure. So the first thing is you'll be entering your credentials in the app, and then you'll get a notification in your phone if you set up the if you download the Authenticator app and if you set up it with your org. So before it it may logs you in the Salesforce org, you'll get a notification. In the right image, you can see here, welcome to Salesforce Authenticator. You can see there are a few numbers like 330522. So that the first one which says Salesforce with number 330522, that means this is one Salesforce org which is connected to. So if you go to that org and if you click sign in, so you'll get here like you need to enable and click on yes to accept it, and then it will allow you to sign in. And this application you can install it in your phone and even in Apple Watch. So this is one of the best tool, like, and easy. So the next thing feature is my domain. This one is like if you would like to add your URL to Salesforce or like to make it more secure and to make sense to all the users. Like instead of generic URL, you have your company or your own domain. Like here you can see home tools, dev. So add dev ed lightning. So this is the my domain. And let me show you guys exactly like how you can enable my domain in your Salesforce org. So in the setup, if you click on if you type my domain, you will get it under the company settings. Here you can see. So my domain name is hometools dev ed. So this is like how you can set your own domain. So basically here you are actually creating subdomain within Salesforce domain. So that is how it is. So and like whenever you have trailer account, you can see. Let me open my trailer account, and we can see even there it will create a subdomain for each user for each trailer account. So if you go to something like lightning, we go to let me open one of the module in trailer. So I can open my trailer playground and I can show you guys. If I click on launch, here you can see my domain in action. So the domain here is Curious Bear and some HSX. So this is whenever you create a trailhead playground, Salesforce for security reason, it will create my domain by itself for all the playgrounds. So this is like creating subdomain, and you can see here at the end you can see force.com, lightning.force.com. So that is the main domain, and this is like a subdomain. We can customize the page for like whenever you go ahead and go to your first page, we can customize the login page to reflect like company's page. If I go to home, like you can customize this page so users know that they are secure and they are on the correct org. Next. So here app launcher. It's so here basically we are using single sign-on in our Salesforce. Let me show you guys. So if you click this 9 dots, which is called app launcher, and if click on view all to view all the applications. Now I'm in one org, but you can see I'm able to see and access multiple applications. That is, I have used only one password, one user ID, but I can go to any application. We can have here external applications as well. If we have any integrated implemented here in our org, so we can click on external application or any connected app. So if I click this, we can go to any other app. So I don't have to enter the password or user ID to go to any other app. So even this is an example of single sign-on. So next I'll show you guys. So basically how this single sign-on works. And then there are some protocols which run behind the single sign-on because we are logging in only one application, but it allows us to access different applications like we have seen in the image, like in the single sign-on example. So there are a few protocols. So the first one is SAML. So what exactly is and how we use this SAML feature. So, and let me show you guys. So this is like it is used by single sign-on feature. So whenever we are logging like this protocol in one application, it allows us to access other applications. So here, you can see in this example. Let me hide this. In this example, you can see you're logged in into Salesforce.org. But even in the previous example, once you click on app launcher, you are able to go to a different app. And in the back end, what exactly is happening is this SAML protocol that is in action. So that is how exactly it works. So you can see here, whenever you are logged in Salesforce, and let's say you have one Gmail app and it takes you to the third application, which is a Gmail. So once you click on Gmail, it sends some XML file. You can see here the XML file. It has a username, some credentials like phone number and first name. It never sends the password. So that is called assertion. So you are asserting some information, the user, to the application, to the third application to authorize it. Once it authorized, you'll be able to log into the third application from Salesforce. So you don't have to you don't have to remind any username or password for this third-party application. So here you can see users don't have to sign in again to access the application, like third-party application. So this is one of the example with SAML. And you can see the file which it sends the information that is in Excel format. Next protocol is OAuth 2. Okay, here, this one. This is an open protocol. This protocol allows us to share the data between two applications securely without sharing of credentials. One of the best example here I've taken is using an Salesforce mobile app. So whenever we install an application in our mobile, which is Authenticator or any other app, Salesforce app, so it asks us like user to allow basic information, and without sharing the details, it gives access to the data in our org in the mobile app. So you can see here to the right image, we have HSLA opportunity in the org in the back image, and in the front we are seeing the same thing in the mobile. So basically, once we say click allow access in the Salesforce mobile app, that gets all the details data from the Salesforce org. So this is one of the example of OAuth 2.0 protocol. The next one is OpenID Connect protocol. So this protocol is like whenever some website or some application allow us to sign in with others different options it gives us, like you can see here in the example Amazon, Facebook, or Google. So these are the few examples, and even here once we click on sign in with Gmail, so it doesn't allow us any other credentials to enter. So basically, it reduces the number of separate accounts and passwords. It is very hectic to keep many number of different user name and user IDs and passwords. So this example I can show you guys. If I go to YouTube and see sign in option here, and see like in order to go to YouTube application, I can go into my Gmail application. So this is how one of the example. So this application now, it is using this protocol, which is OpenID Connect protocol. So the next thing will be data security. So this will be levels of access of data like in the organization. And these are like on the broad level, the top will be organization, that then comes objects, fields, and records. So today we'll be going through organization and objects, and then the next session will be on the fields and records. So my friend Smriti will be taking it from here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Khan, for giving the session. Can you stop sharing?
Sure.
So, guys, can you hear me properly now? Okay, so let's get started. So, today, firstly, what I will be covering is about how to create a user, deactivating a user, set password policies, whitelist trusted IP ranges, restrict login access by address, and then by time. So, let's see how it works. So, first of all, let's create a new user. So, first of all, how we create a user is we simply go to user. We click in the user, and I can quickly create a new user. So, let me do that. So once I create a user, I will be just giving a name. Some last name is mandatory. It will automatically take the alias and then some email, and the username will be automatically coming. So username will be coming as the email address. So we have to put a unique username. So we can put it something like this. So it will be unique to the org. Then on the basis of the user license, you'll be seeing the profile. So for instance, if I select Salesforce platform, on that basis you will be seeing profile. So it is dependent on what user license you see. So let's suppose we choose Salesforce platform for now. So I'm seeing standard platform user, and then give any role right now. And right now you see that it is coming as active by default. And then I will just click on save. So my user is activated now, named David D, and this is his profile. This is his user details. Now if I go ahead, what I will do is, this is what I have created the user. Then let's see deactivating a user. That's pretty straightforward. So if I go to the user, I can simply click on edit and deactivate it. Let's do it for one of the users. So I will click on user. So guys, I want to show you one more thing here. If you see this user, so for user license, if you would have observed that in the dev environment, we just have one Salesforce user license. So right now we are having this one. If I want to create one more user with this license, I won't be able to create. So that restricts us for creating a custom profile using this license. So let's see. Right now I will just deactivate it. Only then I will be able to create a user license with this license and then having some custom profile. So this is how we deactivate. So I have deactivated it. Now let's see about the network access. So once we go about the network access, you will be able to see that what we will do is, so I will click on network access. So what it says is, the list below contains IP address range from sources that your organization trusts. So what exactly it means is that address outside the range, you're not excluded from logging in, but you simply have to verify your identity by entering the verification code. So only the trusted IP ranges will be coming here. So basically, when the first time you log into Salesforce, the IP address is cached in your browser. And anytime you log in from a different IP address, you will be asked to verify your identity, basically verification code. So you can bypass the step for the trusted IP ranges. So that's how you can add the start IP and IP, and then you don't need to go with the verification. So that is your network access. So guys, time for some quiz. So are you ready to play? So we have like 30 seconds. So I'm just bringing the quiz here. So address outside the trusted IP ranges aren't excluded from logging in. So I think everyone said true. So yes, the answer is true. Now we are talking about the login IP ranges. So let's go there. So we will go to profile. So we will understand profile in some time, but right now we are just talking about the login IP ranges. So I will just select one of them. So supposedly I select standard user and I want to check the login IP range. So I see login IP ranges. No login IP range specified. User from IP range are allowed to log in. So basically once we click on here, so what happens is now all users with this profile who are outside the trusted IP range cannot log in. When user profile IP ranges, so there is no verification code to worry about. So user is either in or user is either out. So you see, they enter the range of valid IP address from which user with the profile can log in. So you can add those ranges and that helps it. So if you go here, this is the login IP range which you can put in, and then user with this profile outside the trusted range cannot log in. So that's how it works. Now we are talking about login hours. So sometimes what happens is that for only particular hours you are able to log in. Let's take an example of the call center, that only for certain time you are able to log in the call center. And for that, what you need to do is you can set up the time. Some Salesforce admin can do that. So what you will be doing here is again, if you want to set up the time, you can simply go to particular login hours in your profile and set that here. If you want to see, go here, go to the profiles, go to a particular profile. So you see login IP ranges, and then if you click on new, so what happens is that okay, only for this particular time you are able to do it. That is for login hours, sorry, for that particular hours only you are able to do it. So going ahead, so let's see the basics. So Gyan has already covered little bit about it, but if you see here, so data is stored in the three key constructions. One is object, another is field, and another is record. These three things you have to remember. So object are nothing but they are similar to tables in the databases. You can see here. Field are similar to column of the table, and records are similar to rows of data inside the table. So Salesforce uses object level, field level, and record level security to secure the access. Today we will be covering about the org, which we are already doing it, and then the object level. So now let's talk about the profile. So what is profile? Profile controls access to object level and field level security. So you can see here, right? So let's quickly go there. So you see some of these are the standard profiles, which is already being provided by the Salesforce. So let me go to one of the profiles. So if I go to standard user, So see what I see. We see edit, clone, which I will be showing you. Then we can see the users of that particular profile. So we will be talking about it. So first of all, there is something called page layout. So we will be talking about some of the things which profile can do and very important for the interview point of view. So for example, there is account for this profile. So if I say view assignment, so you see, basically what happens, there are multiple layouts in the account, page layout, but you can particularly choose which particular layout is that profile can see. So that you can do using page layout. So page layout assignment. So there, this is where you can do. So you will be just clicking on the view assignment, open new tab, and for any profile you can choose the layout particularly. So that's how the page layout works. And that happens for different objects. You can assign whatever page layout you want to see. Going next. Again, the same you can do for the custom layout. So if you go to particular page layout, here from here you can choose the assignments. Field level security we will be covering in the next session. So then basically this is the custom app settings. So what happens with the custom app settings, that what are the apps which are particularly available to that particular profiles. So these are the apps which Gyan covered. So if we are putting as visible, so these will be visible to that profile. If we make it as default, so for that particular profile, when the user logs in, then he will be able to see that app as the first one in the home. So that's how the default works. Now let's quickly go down to the most important part. So again, going back, this one is your tab settings. So also you can do enable and disable tabs. So if you go here, so this is one of the this is one of the tabs, right? So you can choose the tab which you want to see for that particular profile using the tab settings. And now comes the most important part, that is standard object permissions. So now what happens here is that in the profile you can have read, create, edit and delete permission. So what does it mean? So basically with the read permission, any any user having the read permission is able to read the records of that particular object. If there is create, then they are able to create it. Edit means they can modify the records, and delete means they can delete the records. So that's how these four works. If you click on view all, that works on the object level. So if you click on view all, then they will be able to read the records. And then if you click on modify all, then they will be able to modify it. So even if we will be checking how exactly it works, but you see, even if I edit, I won't be able to make any changes. The reason being, we are not able to make changes to the standard profile. So if I want to make any changes here, I cannot, even though if I do the edit. So if accounts are have the correct permissions enabled, that is how it will be for this particular profile. So for that reason, we create custom profile so that we can give the permissions according to what we want to give. So that is some basic of profile. Now let's understand. So if you see here, we just went through it. Read, user can only view records of this type. Create, user can read and create records. Edit, user can read and update records. So guys, this is very important from the interview point of view. And in the view all, user can view all records associated with this object. And then in modify all, user can read, edit, delete, transfer and approval all records associated with the object. So that's how it works. We will be seeing them in example, in the practical example. So now how to create a profile. So we just checked that why we create a profile. Now how to create a profile. So We go to a profile. So we get an option of new profile. So we will be clicking here. So you see, we have to clone a profile. So let's clone one of the profiles and just name it. So I just named it testing user. So now what I need to see is about this profile. You see here, we can edit, clone, delete, and view users. This is your testing user, which profile we just created. So we can edit it, we can clone to create a copy, which we did. We can delete this profile, or we can view users. But what if I want to log in? So I'm a system admin, but I'm not able to log in option. So if I want to log into this profile, what I need to do is I'll simply go to login access policies, and I will make that enabled. And according to that, I should be able to see. So as administrator can log in as any user. So that's how it works. So going back, so we just created a new profile. Now time for some quiz. So guys, can we create a profile from scratch without cloning? So the question was, can we create a profile from scratch without cloning? And mostly I got the answer yes, which I just covered, that if we want to create a profile, then it always gives an option to clone. It doesn't allow to create a new profile, which we just saw. So that is the answer. We cannot create a profile from scratch without cloning. If you want to see, then you just simply go to the profile, and then when you click on new, then you will be seeing the option to clone, and that's how we have to go. If you click on new profile, you will be seeing existing profile, and then you will be choosing. It's not from scratch. Going ahead, again another quiz is coming. So let's see. Can we change standard profile permissions? True or false? So these profile permissions, can we change for standard profile? Yes or no? So time up. So no, we cannot. That's the answer. Let's go ahead. So guys, we have created a profile, and then let's see. Let's play around with the profile with some real example. So if I go to a profile, so I just went to the system admin profile, right? And we created another profile named testing one. Let's go there. Testing user. And now see the permissions it has. So right now it is not having any permission for COVID-19 patient. So guys, what should happen right now if I log in as this user? If I log in as this user, then I should not be able to see that particular object. So let me refresh. So I'm not getting any login option. I'm just searching for that. Gyan,
Yes.
so can you guide everyone that how we can log in? How we can see the login option for the profile?
Okay. If you can go and go back and clone one of the profile, then you should be, I guess, you should be able to access. You should be able to log in through that profile. Is it the standard profile which you are trying to for the user? Okay. So you are good. Like if you can go back to the user. You don't have any user in this profile.
Okay, so let me go to a particular user. So I will go here and I will go to the standard platform user, and I see that COVID-19 is not there. So I will quickly log in as this user. This one is standard platform user. So I log in as him. So I should not be able to see the COVID-19. So I simply go here, click on COVID. Even if I click on view all, I should not be able to see that particular app. So basically because it doesn't have any access. So as I log out with David D, so that's how it is. If I click on the read, create, edit, delete, then I should be able to. Otherwise, I should not be able to. So that's how it works. So now I have a situation that a profile has two users, user one and user two. And basically what happens is we have requirement that user one must have access to COVID-19 app, but not user two. So how it will work? So in this situation, we can understand that one profile can have multiple users, and for example there's one hospital and it has many staff members, and all are having read access to particular object, basically COVID-19 object they all can see, but the only head staff is able to create and edit also. So if we create extra permission set, only then they can be able to do that. If we don't have, because they are part of same profile, they should not be able to access. So the solution here is, if only one user of that profile should be able to see but not another, then for that we will be creating a new profile and assigning to the user one, which is not a good solution. So we will be going with the solution 2, that is we have to create new permission set and assign it to the user one. So let's see how we create the permission set. Let me quickly log in as one of the profiles. Just give me a second. So I will be just clicking on the setup, and then I will be going to the user. So as I go to the user, I see that there is one user named staff one, and then I see another user as the staff head. So if you see, both the users are having the same profile. So what does it mean? That both users can access that particular object, whatever CRED permission is there, they are able to do that. So now I want that the staff head should be able to see that, but not the staff one. So for that, what we will do? Right now we have seen that COVID-19 nobody can access. But now I want that the staff head should be able to. So for that, I will click here that particular user, and I will create an assignment. So what basically this assignment does is we are able to create, so whatever permission set I will create right now, I can add here, and that will be giving them the extra permission. So on that object level we can choose create, read, edit, delete, and then for example I choose create for the staff member. For the staff, if I want them to even edit that particular object, so I can do that using the permission set. So how will I do it? I will go to the permission set. So I go here in the permission sets. I will create a new one, or I can show you this one which I created. So this is how we will be creating a new. So I will be putting all the information here. So let's just close it. So this one I have already created, naming test user permission. So in this particular permission, if we go here, we can see that if we go to the object settings, we can already see that what kind of access the particular object is having by clicking on that particular object. So I will click on that particular object, and I can see that it is having read, create, edit permission. So I have given these kind of permission, and now what will happen? I will simply add it to that particular user. So I will go to that user. This is our user, and then we will be adding the permission set to that particular user. So I click on the edit assignment, and then I will click on test user permission, and I click on add, and then I click on save. So as I say, earlier you were not even able to see that particular object. But now if I do give that kind of permission and I click on the login, then I should be able to. So this is what I just show you. This is the permission set. And these are the things which we can do. So before going further, let me show you the example. So I will log in as that particular user, and now I will try to see that whether I can create, edit and delete.
Can refresh the
So
page.
because I have used the force.com free license, so it has taken me to the Visual Force because it is not having the lightning enabled. But if I see, I am able to see the COVID-19 patients. I can create the new one, and also I am able to save it. So if I put all the information, I should be able to save it. So basically what happens is that earlier I was not even able to see it, but just after I am able to give that permission set, I am able to. So now we need to announce the winners. So the winner of the competition 2 chance to win gift vouchers. So it's Priyanka, and I'm very happy that this time the girl has won that gift voucher worth rupees 500. So congratulations Priyanka, you have completed 26 batches and 19,000 points. So well done on that. And then the leader chance to win gift vouchers. So basically we have just thought about giving rupees 500 worth gift vouchers, but there is one guy who is doing all the batches much beforehand and practicing a lot. So if he keeps on doing that, then Pavan Kumar should be able to win rupees 500 and also one of the goodies if he keeps on performing till the end. So basically, we are just giving one gift voucher per one gift voucher, and so basically one winner. If he has been announced as winner, then they will not become winner again. But then because he's already been winner, now he's the leader because he is playing along. So now it's the time to play Kahoot. So it's final quiz time. So guys, you can join www.kahoot.it and put that pin so we can all play. So we have 18 players right now. We will just wait for another minute and then we will play the game. So 24 players have joined. We will just wait for just a minute more and then we will play. So we are getting started. So we just get one right answer. So how can admin restrict from where user logins to Salesforce? And is Mohammed Sahil is number one. So it's password policies. Let's see. So we see RK as 768 points. Guys, please put your full name. So we see that organization level is the answer. So Priya is winning. That's great. RK is second and Rahul is third. So the answer is private. So we will be studying OWD in more detail in the next series session. But we see two right answers for now. So Priya is winning again. So for a user can use same username in more than one Salesforce org. Answer is true, and 10 people have given it correctly. So Priya is winning, RK is second, and Pawan is coming third. So the question is, user must have a username in the format. So it's email address. We just saw that we can have user in the username format, email address format. Let's see. So we see Priya on the top, Prashant coming second, and Pawan third. So admin wants to disable a user temporarily. What option should the admin use? Nobody gave the right answer. It's freeze user. So if admin wants to disable a user temporarily, then they will be freezing the user. So here Priya is winning, Prashant is second, and Pawan is third. So last question, guys. Permission set grants one or group of users additional privilege beyond the profile. So the answer is true, and 6 people have given it correctly, 3 have given it wrong. So let's go ahead. Let's see who wins. So we have played the final quiz, and then thank you guys. Please subscribe to the channel and stay safe and study Salesforce as much as you can. And thank you guys for joining the session. Thank you.